Oh, okay. I'm trying to be as like unsharp as possible.
I don't want to waste any moment.
You want to come off casual. You're trying to come off
I'm
casual
trying to be really aloof.
Can I
and
just
cool.
say you're coming off very casually right now?
Yeah.
And could you?
I'm glad you noticed.
So sit up, smart enough.
This time, it's different. With Peter and Chris. This time, it's different.
Welcome everybody to This Time It's Different, the podcast that's a little bit different every time. So we gotta warn you though, this time it is different. This time, I said that it was gonna be different every time, but this time it's more different than that.
It's very different this time.
Because we're in person this time.
Also,
in each other's presence. Check it out on the YouTubes right now. It is a
see
video
us.
podcast, and we do prefer you do that.
It would be really great right now. It would be really great if we weren't actually in person, and that was just like a way to like trick people into going to your YouTube channel.
And listen, listener, that voice that you're hearing right now, because most people listen, is our guest for today, Amitai Marmorstein.
Amitai Marmorstein.
Hello.
Amitai Marmorstein, welcome to the pod.
and I believe it's Amitai, just to be clear.
Absolutely not.
Just to be clear, and it's
God.
2021, and it's Amitai Marmorstein.
Please do not do
always. It's like I try to say his name correctly, and I think you hate it.
I genuinely
Amitai.
can't stand it. Yeah.
Yeah, like you hate
It's like,
It's like
you hate
Chris,
this moment.
Like
Stop
it feels like I feel like it's a hate crime. I can't quite say why, but like
wait.
But like I'm trying to say it
yeah,
right.
you're trying to say it the way my family says it, and it's somehow it just
Something
like,
about my blonde hair, and you're like,
yeah, I'm like this.
you can't.
It feels
Don't.
like it's like there's an Aryan soldier like yelling at me.
So it's just so the thing that offends you is people trying or even getting it right that just aren't your family.
Yeah, or like it's so intimate to hear someone like even
Right.
if Chris did say it correctly, I wouldn't be offended by it anymore, but at least I would be
It's the way your
it would
mother
be I'd
says
be
it.
weirded out.
Yeah,
I'd
you'd
be
be a
like,
bit weirded out.
Mom?
I peel my skin back. I've been your mom the whole time.
I legit used to have like a recurring nightmare when I was a kid about that. Like I would wake up and from a nightmare being like, I think I just dreamt that my mom was an imposter. It was really weird.
That is an intense dream to have.
I was just thinking about that the other day.
Did you have the dream? I always had the dreams where everything felt too big or too small. That's apparently a nightmare that kids have, and I would have them all the time.
Describe what?
Okay, like all of this, your scale disappears. Your ability to like understand yourself in the world or something. So
Yeah.
all of a sudden you're kind of like half asleep, and now all of a sudden your pillow feels like a city. It feels giant, and you can't quite touch it or something. And then everything feels like little pins, little tiny little things, and you're trying to like, and you just can't. Like your pillow is all of a sudden tiny. It's
I
this
used
weird
to have
thing.
that too.
Yeah.
I would
You
have, I would dream that, oh my gosh, my bed is so big, my pillows are so big, I'm so small, and then I would wake up and I was just rich.
Chris, here's the thing I forgot about, and being in person is amazing.
Yeah.
Is Chris has a little bit of bit face sometimes when we're lining up on a pretty good bit. There's like a little side smile that I can
Resting
see.
bit face?
Yeah, he has resting bit
Ooh, Chris is gonna make a joke coming
face. I
up.
saw it coming, and I was like, there it is.
So
There it
wait,
is.
was that not you couldn't pick it up over
No,
Zoom?
we grew up. It was a bit because upper middle class, not rich, upper middle.
Oh, explain the bit.
Okay.
So the reason he had a big, yeah, you do it.
What?
Explain the bit.
Yeah.
The reason he had a big bed.
Oh, is because I was quite rich. That was the bit. There is bit voice as well, and I already heard myself do it.
Sure.
It's
Yeah.
like when we're all riffing, there is that like, and I said it today. I was like, I've been your mom the whole time. It just sort of like goes up.
yeah.
Well, then, yeah.
And then you trip.
I do have to say, I actually really appreciate it because if it weren't for that, I would think you were actually my mom the whole time. It really helps me kind of see the difference.
I wouldn't have known that was a
between
bit.
reality. Yeah.
But and then that leads to modern bit voice, which is like hyper serious. I find
Sure.
that's how you do a bit now. And then I found out I was rich. Like just
Yeah.
no,
Yeah.
nothing.
Yeah, you just drop. Yeah. You just
drop
drop
it
all
down.
the way in. Yeah. Yeah.
And then all the coins fell out of my rich pockets. I tripped on the coins. I died.
I died.
Yeah, and I wouldn't have been able to
I
tell.
exploded.
I wouldn't have been able to tell if you were my mom or not. Yeah.
Modern bit voice.
No,
I like
modern
it.
bit
That's modern bit voice, and that's early 2000s bit voice.
Yeah.
Speaking of bits and voices,
Oh, yeah.
today on the
Are you
pod,
going to do some new voices for us?
no, but I mean, if they come up naturally, they
Yeah.
come up naturally.
Can I force one naturally? Can just
Oh, gosh.
can
Please
can Jeff Goldblum tell us what we're doing today?
Okay.
It's my favorite.
Yes. Today on the podcast, yes. Amitai
great in
Marmorstein is going to be telling us about the shows that he's been on, yes, and the celebrity sightings, yes, the interactions,
It's
yes,
perfect.
yeah. But we thought we'd play a game called Are They Nice? And we'd go through your IMDb,
Yeah.
and you are probably our most workingest actor
Yeah,
friend.
you definitely
can't be
are
true.
our most successful friend, and I think maybe richest. Like you have like a lot of
What's
money.
in your bank account?
Yeah, should we
I
start
thought
there?
you guys want to start there? I was really, yeah. And I knew this question was coming because I'm a fan of your show, and I was.
We've stolen that. I'm sure that's been around.
Yeah,
but
I forgot that you say bank account, and I was like, oh, I have $40 on me, and I'll try and like play it off that way. But it's
Oh, I
not going to
ruined
work
it.
in this case. So
I
You
ruined
needed
it.
Yeah.
us to say pocket.
yeah. Could you try it again with pocket?
That's kind of a fun question, though. Like, how much money do you actually have on you right now? Like, if I
That's
gave
fun,
you
too,
10
yeah.
minutes,
I think
how much
that-
money could you get me?
I mean, I wouldn't need it. I think I probably got. I know that I have $10 in like 50 cents.
Yeah, I'm saying if I give you 10 minutes, you could run to the ATM.
How much is
Oh,
your
right.
limit?
Oh, I see.
Yeah. If I gave you an hour and you could like call anyone, how much money could you like? If it was like a hostage situation,
Yeah.
and you needed to get like a ransom
Yeah.
of
How much
$20,000, could you get it within 2 hours?
Oh, great question. It depends on the time. If Bank of Montreal is open, I could drain my like business account.
Sure.
That has like money for the government, and then I'll owe the government all of that money.
Sure.
Like it's not my money, but I could pay a ransom pretty quick.
Okay, that's pretty good.
Okay.
What if it's not open? What if it's like you have to call people?
Oh,
Like-
you're gonna be sending that person to me in pieces. Because there's no way the Bank of Montreal is gonna be like, what does this guy have? Peanuts in his account? We're not gonna open a branch to help him.
I guess I meant more like call rich friends. That's I think what I was thinking.
Oh,
Although
yeah.
now that I think about it, if it's after banking hours, I don't think that they're going to necessarily just like open
Yeah.
their vault.
I would call
they
either
have,
my
there's
yeah.
a whole series of stuff that they
you
have
grew
to
up
do.
with a vault.
Yeah, you
quite
had a
a
vault.
Yeah, it's the vault was only open during day hours, but like
Right.
yeah, just in the mornings. Really.
So you
In
could
the
go swimming in
mornings?
it, like
Yeah.
Scrooge
You could,
McDuck?
yeah. Oh, it's Scrooge McDuck in the afternoons. That we would open
I
it to the
see.
public for
It was
Scrooge
public
McDucking.
swim.
Yeah.
Oh, it was a public pool. A
Yeah,
public
in the
money
morning
vault.
it was our vault, and we'd load it with cash, and then in
Yeah.
the afternoon it was a public swim, and people would just dive in there, and then in
How
the
do you-
afternoon we'd fish the bodies out.
Yeah, because it's
it
a
really hurts.
really terrible idea to
Yeah.
swim in loose coins.
Yeah, especially the high dive. Like you will
Oh
get
God,
eviscerated.
spinal injuries
Yeah.
for days, but we had good lawyers because we were rich, so it was never
Right.
came back on us.
Yeah, because I think at a certain density, a pile of hard metal is just as hard as any floor.
Oh
Yeah.
yeah. Well,
certainly.
it's a thing that was specific about ducks, though. You hear their feathers are like oily.
Oh, water off a
and
duck's
that- That is why
Oh.
they can dive into coins. Is because they slip in.
Oh, it's
easier.
a slippy.
It's a
Is
more
that
of a
where
slippy
greasy
thing.
fingers comes from? Like greasing palms?
No. And so let's.
So, Amitai, you've been in a lot of stuff, is what we were trying to say. You've been in a lot of videos and
So I've got
clips.
your IMDb here
Yeah.
loaded up, and you're in a new show that I've been watching called Schmigadoon.
Schmigadoon.
Yeah, check it out.
Which is a
Apple
fun
TV.
show.
I'm going to be honest, I should have done my research before having a guest on. I have the videos. I have the VODs. I haven't started yet. I'm going to start, though, I promise.
Yeah, it's good.
I love you,
I
my
haven't
best friend.
watched it either. So
It's a.
Should we
No hard
watch it? We
feelings.
can have a watching
It's a
party.
yeah,
musical.
should we do it for the pod?
But Amitai, I mean, I gotta ask.
No, we're not doing
Keegan
it.
Michael Key. Is he nice?
Michael Key is very nice.
Oh, cool.
Ah, okay. I mean, that's
Yeah.
good because I like him, but it would be more exciting if he
was
wasn't.
he is like exactly the same person on screen as off. Like he's
Oh,
like,
really?
like high energy.
Yeah.
Like the cameras are not rolling and he's still just like riffing and like all day long. Like
I love
it. He was a lot of fun.
What's his like worst? What's the worst thing about him? What's his like?
We'll skip that. Now, I understand that you have a very, very interesting Arnold Schwarzenegger in
Oh, we're just gonna rip through these.
Okay,
We're ripping. We're not gonna. I thought we were gonna live in Keegan for a bit.
No. It's I ask if they're nice, and then
We move on.
Okay.
So Arnold Schwarzenegger, is he nice?
is he nice?
Arnold Schwarzenegger is very nice.
He seems to be nice.
Moving on now?
Awesome.
Yeah.
No.
He cultivates niceness. Like his whole brand is like sticking up for the little guy kind of thing.
Yeah, I mean that's like on his on-screen personas. You mean like the
Well, his
characters he
on-screen
plays?
personas for sure, but like on Twitter and stuff like that, there was that
Oh,
one where
sure, right.
somebody was like making fun of the Special Olympics because why would you do that on Twitter? They were like, "What's the point? It's like stupid to watch." This is famous. No, this is a famous thing.
This
He, like,
is recently?
I don't know, a couple of years ago.
Okay.
Who cares?
Who was it that tweeted this?
Some loser who's maybe like who's been shamed out
Yeah,
of
now
society.
like I feel almost bad for them because I'm like they were probably like they had like 40 followers and it was just their friends.
Yeah.
And they're like, this is
And then-
insane.
yeah, that's so
Arnold
true.
Schwarzenegger's like, fuck you, dude.
he tweets out some dumb thing because he's probably at a bar and he's had a few beers and he's like, like, what's the point? Well, tweets it out, and then actual Arnold Schwarzenegger tears you a new one. I would feel as proud as I was
What was the
ashamed.
tear? How did he new one him?
Well, and here's the
Tell
problem.
us how he knew one.
Here's the problem with the story. It's already fallen apart because I was going to be like, remember? Then you guys, one of you would have been like, oh yeah, that was funny, and then we'd move on.
That is how a good conversation would go.
Yeah, because it's
too bad.
Basically, he was
Fun
just
to
like,
think about though. It's fun to think about like how a good conversation sounds,
how this
Yeah.
should be going.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Just aim for that and just miss.
Yeah, and miss every time. He just ripped on him for the obvious stuff. Like, first of all, what are you doing? Like, that is a pretty rough opinion to have, let alone publicly say. And then it was just Arnie just took him to task on like competition is about overcoming obstacles and like and
sure.
being as best as you can be. So that's my whole thing is that Arnie has been in the last few years coming off as a very like the man of the people type.
Well, he was a full-on governor. You
Yeah.
know, he had to be.
Right.
He was a politician.
That's true.
I like that he was probably, I guess, no, Dwayne "The Rock" Johnson is our current Arnold, in that he can play a steamboat captain, and he's absolutely ripped. You're like, what business does this steamboat captain in Disney Cruise or whatever it's called?
That's so funny.
Disney Jungle Cruise.
Yeah.
Why is he jacked?
He's jacked to the point, and so was Arnie, was jacked to the point that you'd have to have a line in it that explained. Like, you can't just have, like Jason Statham could be a normal guy.
Right,
and then
right,
all of a sudden, he's good at fighting. But, like, yeah, you'd have to explain why the steamboat captain
Just
was
like-
so big.
Yeah, it was like, oh, this he's playing an accountant but everyone has to keep talking about his exercise addiction because it's
Yeah,
like,
exactly.
just like offhand.
He's
to make
quite
the script
sick.
work.
And
He's
then,
quite sick.
and then in one early draft, somebody was like mentioned his steroids addiction, but like that got cut. It was like, no, he just works out a lot.
Like, no, branding wise, we can't have that.
Yeah, he got that big because he works out a lot. That's how that is.
The Rock tweeted yesterday about his showering techniques.
What?
Did you see that? It was going viral. It's like, and like apparently this guy, he showers
Oh my
4
God.
times a day, and you'd be like, that's wasteful, but he's also a guy who's addicted to exercise, so he must actually stink.
Oh,
but he
yeah.
wakes
Yeah,
up,
yeah.
has a cold shower, and then he goes
That
to
one you could've-
works
okay.
out, and then after his workout, he has a shower, and then he goes to work, and then after he comes from whatever he's doing, moving and shaking,
Yeah.
designing
famous.
tequila bottles. I don't know.
Whatever he does.
How much lotion does he go through? I feel like my skin would dry out.
How much
after.
various products does
Yeah.
he go
A
through?
full Aveeno thing per bicep.
At least.
Yeah.
But he also, the weird thing is, he is starting to get into Mythical King territory where he's like,
Oh, sure.
he's got to have 4 people putting that lotion on him. He
Yeah.
can't reach. He couldn't do this
There's no
probably.
way,
He couldn't
yeah.
even get at the back of his neck.
For the people that aren't, this is why you want to check out the YouTube.
Yeah, you
but
gotta check out
Peter
the
was
YouTube.
touching the
His
back of
physicality
his
was
back.
quite wonderful.
You gotta
to look
see
at.
that physicality.
Yeah,
Oh
you
my
gotta
gosh,
see
the
it.
way
It is
he
well worth it.
reached back.
Yeah,
You gotta check
it's
it
the
out.
type of thing that would make Dwayne the Rock Johnson very envious.
Yeah, he would have probably been like, man, I wish I could do that.
Yeah.
But I'm wondering now about Arnie, like, he was the peak, whatever. So when you met with him, worked with him, you're best
Yeah.
friends
What
with
was
him? or
the show that
did
you
he
did
have
with him?
Yeah, and did he have a big
We dated
entourage
for a little while.
Did he have a
That
big
was-
crew managing his presence?
He had a little crew. He was also, this is the thing too, is like, when was this? Like a few years back. And he is like way smaller than
Oh.
than you're
I
picturing.
don't believe it.
Yeah.
Part of it is
I
that
don't believe it.
as an old man, he was like, "Oh, instead
I'm
of
old.
Right.
I'm gonna just get smaller. Like I'm not gonna just try and keep you. It's impossible for me to stay Arnie size." But he's
Yeah.
also like he's maybe 6 feet. He's maybe like 5'10", 5'11".
Whoa.
Like he's not tall.
I could beat him up.
Yeah, we
You
could all
absolutely
beat
could
him
not.
up.
I could beat him up.
I
There's
feel
no-
like
not
the
a
small
chance in hell.
because I feel like Amitai's gonna get to the small
Well,
crew
I'm
part.
5'9".
I know, but
Yeah.
So he's only got an inch on me, so I could probably almost beat him up.
but it's not a height thing.
I want.
really?
I
this
want.
isn't high
Is
school.
that not fights?
Is that not fights?
I want
I
a clip
thought
of this to go
fight.
viral so that Arnold Schwarzenegger goes to his Twitter to say that
Rips
to,
you a
to
new
be like,
one.
I will kill you. I will tear you apart with my bare hands.
I'm coming for you, Arnold. I swear to God.
This video just got sent to his crew. He has a small crew, Amitai said.
Now tell us. So you're sitting beside Arnold Schwarzenegger on
Yeah.
set. He's there. You're going. This guy's smaller
Yeah.
than I ever
Then I
thought.
picture-
He hears your thought,
Yeah.
and then you
Yeah,
fight.
yeah.
Or did you say that to him? Or you're just like, oh, you're weaker than I imagined?
Yeah, that's the thing is his strength comes from his ability to read people's minds.
Oh
actually. Yeah,
God,
yeah,
I didn't
yeah.
know
People
that.
didn't
That's a
realize
big.
that
That's a
about
big
him.
thing.
No, that part. Why would I ever say that to him? That's an insane thing to say to a person.
Did you notice his craft service habits? Like, was he going to craft a lot?
Oh God, no. People would just bring him stuff.
Oh shoot!
Yeah.
Was he eating a lot though?
Not really a lot. He was smoking cigars on camera.
this is
That's-
this is what I'm talking about.
But, yeah.
That's what you
Okay.
wanted? The story of the smoking cigar?
Okay, so he's got a cigar.
Dude loves cigars.
I feel like he has a proper story.
I do. I mean, I do have a proper story of like.
Okay.
Because so.
Tell the cigar thing, then
All right.
do your.
Well, no, the cigar thing
Start
is
with
that, like
cigar.
he would smoke cigars every now and then. I don't have anything more to go off of
That's-
that.
I
am
It's
satisfied
unusual to
with that.
see,
Yeah.
but like
It's a good story.
Yeah,
And wear aviators. And did he always have like a big gun?
yeah. A
I just
cigar
have-
in one hand and a massive machine gun in the
He
other at
might
all
as well.
times.
At all
Yeah.
times.
It was a problem. We kept
Yeah.
getting arrested. It was. Really
And he has to
slowing
put it
down
under the
production.
crook of his arm so he can like sign things.
Yeah,
Just
yeah.
watch your mic.
I did. Yeah, I don't have
Could
good
you
mic
please?
hygiene.
Yeah.
Jesus Christ.
Mic etiquette.
I like you're calling it mic hygiene. Like,
I hope I didn't make that up. I thought that was maybe a
is
thing.
that the term?
I don't know. It probably isn't though, right? It's like not the thing.
Yeah,
I don't know.
I'm the only person that's ever
But
said
now we're
mic
talking
hygiene.
about this instead of Arnold.
Oh,
yeah.
we got to talk about Arnold. Is he
Okay.
nice?
Arnold Schwarzenegger, straight
Oh.
to camera. Arnold Schwarzenegger is very nice. That's just for your guys.
Okay, great.
Promo
I
sake.
like it.
But so the story is that my dad is a giant Arnold Schwarzenegger fan. Always has been. I grew up in this like household that like my dad would take us to every Arnold movie on opening
Amazing.
weekend. He fucking loved that shit. And the part of the reason my dad loves Arnold Schwarzenegger so much was part of one of his favorite like dad bits, which was you got to picture my dad. He's
Yeah.
smaller than I am, got a bit of a belly, rabbi, beard, fucking the whole thing.
Yeah.
And he would whenever Arnold Schwarzenegger would come up and go, let's try role play this out right now. Just be talking
Okay.
offhand mention Arnold Schwarzenegger in some way.
I'm gonna be.
I'm
I'm gonna
my
be.
dad. I'm my dad
Okay,
right now.
I'm gonna be. I'll be your brother. I think.
Sure. I mean,
Okay,
you could
and
be
I'll
like
be
even someone
one
in
of
the
your
store.
other-
Oh, just somebody in a store.
Yeah, it could be like this. It's actually maybe
I'm gonna be
better
the.
that
I'm gonna be the manager.
Okay, and I will be the clerk
Yeah.
who you're
Yeah.
talking to. You're scolding me
Yeah.
because I have miscounted the till.
And then I'm bringing up Arnold Schwarzenegger.
yeah, like because you're gonna
Find
fight
a
me or
way.
something.
No, I've got it. I got it.
Okay,
I got it.
so
I
I'm
know
a-
what to
Wait,
do.
but why is my dad
I'm the
in this
cashier.
part of this?
Hey, you've
did I-
lined up. You're buying.
I'm just in
You're
line.
in
Am
the
I-
grocery store.
just
You're your
stumbled
dad.
You're. I thought you said you're the grocery store.
No,
You're the
he's-
entire setting.
He's his own dad in the grocery
You're
store.
your own
He's got
dad.
a bushel of apples that he wants to buy.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I have miscounted the till because I am but a 15-year-old
Okay.
boy.
Yeah, I don't know if you can really play 15 anymore, but
Well,
that's its
I'm,
own- okay.
it's a podcast, you know.
me
So
get
don't
a
watch it.
shade.
Just
Yeah,
listen.
don't watch this part. Go to podcast for this part.
Yeah.
Okay.
Oh gosh. Oh no, my pimples just popped into the cash register. I'm gonna throw this bill completely in the garbage.
Hey,
It's got pus on it.
sorry, just I'm doing my rounds. I go around and do my rounds, and I just thought I'd come over and see what seems to be the problem. You're holding up this fine bearded gentleman.
I was
here.
just
trying to get
I
some
just
apples.
popping my pimples
trying to get some
over here
apples.
because I'm 15 and I just
Okay.
popped it right into
Okay,
the till.
so you want to take that 20? See that 20 in the trash?
Yeah, I
You wanna
threw
take
it
that
out because it's
take that-
covered in my
no,
own pus.
No, take that out of the trash.
Oh God, yeah.
And we're gonna work on your face stuff. stuff, but like you don't have to keep mentioning it out loud in front of people. You can just deal with it in the bathroom or whatever, or like, and privately you can complain about it.
Right. Okay. Yeah, but it's covered in pus.
Listen, Mr. Baruchel, if you ever want to make something of yourself in this world,
Oh, God,
you're
yeah.
gonna need to like smarten up.
I just, I'm so sorry.
I'm sorry, sir. Okay.
No, it's fine.
So
I don't
listen, I'm
mind.
gonna get back to my rounds, okay?
Yeah.
But I'll be back. You know what I mean?
Oh, yeah,
so I will come back.
That's Arnold Schwarzenegger.
I'm
isn't it?
Arnold Schwarzenegger.
Hey,
Oh, yes,
speaking
sir.
of Arnold Schwarzenegger, people mistake me for him all the time.
Oh. You don't look anything like him.
rabbi.
You don't look anything like him. You're a
I don't
rabbi.
think so. I don't think that would be true, sir. It's just you look nothing
Can you
like
do
him.
something about this
I'm sorry.
fucker?
You know what?
It's just
honestly,
not true.
Honestly,
You look at it the way
Okay,
this
first
guy
it was
looks.
the pus, and now you're questioning my fucking joke. My dad just starts beating the shit.
listen, you gotta not.
He punches me, I die.
You've gotta-
His dad goes to jail. He works out so hard, he does start to look like Arnold. He comes back to the grocery store.
He will be back. Okay, all right. So that was just so much fun. We had a great time with that, and so your dad is like, that's his constant bit, is that he
doesn't look anything like
mistake me
Arnold
for him.
Schwarzenegger,
Yeah.
and whenever he comes up in
That's a
conversation,
good life bit, though.
He says, people mistake me for him all the time. It is a great bit.
It's a great bit, especially if you look full on like a rabbi, like the whole
yeah,
getup.
yeah. It's oh man.
So,
The whole time you guys are doing that, I kept being like, I forget what we're doing here.
it is
I
going to
did
take
too.
a full hour length podcast to tell this Arnold.
Yeah, I
Schwarzenegger
think this
story.
is the. Are they nice? Is just it's just going to
about-
be is
yeah.
Arnie nice?
But yeah, so the thing was, I was like going into this being like, okay, I don't know how, but I got to tell Arnold about my dad's joke about him.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because that's the only like that's a fun jumping off point, and I don't know if it's ever going to work out to do, because he was only there for like a week of the shoot. He was like in and out sort of thing. They came in to do stuff. Actually, that was a fun part too.
Oh, right.
Was beforehand, like this is a movie with a bunch of SNL folk, so folk that love doing impressions of people.
Oh, no.
And so everyone was just like all the time, like being like, okay, and then Arnie will come in and he'll say this line and they'll do an impression, and everyone's always just speaking in the Arnie voice at all times. And then
Before he gets there.
yeah,
Oh,
and
God,
then there
right.
was one day when we were shooting in this hotel, and so like every kind of room was in a different like hotel room. Like the makeup was here,
Right.
so I was like walking through the hallway, and you could kind of hear all the voices in the rooms, but you couldn't actually see anything. And I was like, "Fuck, wow, is that Bobby Moynihan? Like, man, his Arnie is getting really good."
Oh, no.
And then I walk around the corner, and it's Arnold Schwarzenegger just talking to one of the dudes in his entourage.
But he's still doing a bit about himself. He's like, and then I would walk in and like do this.
No, I mean, his
I'll be back. Like, it's just actual Arnie doing his own impression of himself.
And it's bad somehow.
I've got a great Arnie.
it's like when Chris tries to say my name the proper way. It sounds kind of
He's
like
doing
that.
it.
It's like off.
Amitai.
Yeah,
He's doing his own thing.
Yeah.
So you run right into him.
yeah.
And he's a brick wall. He's bigger than you think.
I mean,
Yeah. Taller and bigger.
No, he's just like he's a regular dude. It's weird.
Okay.
Yeah.
That part has got to be weird. I know my friend Kyle. He's a stand-up comedian in town. He used to work at Science World with me, and one day Tom Cruise went through Science World like with the kids, and I think there was it's fairly protected. It's kind of like it'll be Tom Cruise going through. It's not going to be a bunch of kids. Like it's not going to be the public as well.
Right.
Like I think it was like a very separate thing. Anyway, kind of an empty center stage show or whatever, and he watched him do the show,
Yeah.
and it's like the kids were always looking at so what did Tom Cruise I'm watching the science show, I'm gonna see what Tom Cruise thought of that experiment.
Yeah.
And apparently he comes off very much like a star,
Of course.
like when you see
yeah.
him he's very
Yeah.
much like
And to be clear, Arnie also has that. It was just like the physical stature, because that's what you think
Right.
of, right? With
Yeah,
with
giant
Arnold.
and,
He's like you're like this
imposing.
dude is bigger, larger than life, and I was
Yeah.
like, oh no, he fits in this room. He sits in that chair just fine. He's not like I feel like seeing The Rock now.
Yeah.
Like, and this is the thing, Arnie. This is modern day Arnie. If you go back even 20 years,
Right.
we're talking about it would probably be a completely different experience.
Right.
Yeah, I just want to be. I don't want Arnie's people to come after me.
Yeah.
And be like, I'm tarnishing the brand.
all you're saying is he's a real human being.
Yeah,
and
like
that's
if you put a hoodie on him and a pair of shorts, he would look like someone that's from Yale Town that works out a lot. You know what I
right.
mean?
Yeah.
Great.
Yeah.
So you do you tell him the thing about your dad?
Not then, because that was
Not then.
No, but
Later on.
Later on. So this is actually the last day that he was shooting, I believe. and we had like a scene actually together. Like I like was acting with him. I was off camera for it, so it kind of bums me out because it's like there's no footage of like the two of us like on screen at the same time.
Yeah.
But my character was interviewing him. And so we were like running lines between takes and like,
cool.
Like, yeah. And this was like my first time like actually kind of spending any time with him. And then, you know, we do a take and they're setting up for the next one. And he goes back to sit in his chair. And he's got like his own kind of like his own personal green room. Like his chair is kind of away from everything. And it's also like, this is a low budget production. Like he was slumming it with us.
Right.
And so we had no security or anything. So it's like people just off the street found out that Arnold Schwarzenegger was on the set, and they were just coming up to him and being like, "Hey, can you sign this Terminator DVD box?"
Oh no!
Yeah, and so he was kind of dealing with a lot of that throughout the day. We had like paparazzi on us too,
Of course
from
you
like
did.
across the like while we were shooting. It was so fucking surreal. Anyway, so at one point I'm like, okay, we have a few minutes here between takes, between setups. I should like this is the moment. I got to do this. And so I come up and be like, "Hey man, I just got to let you know my dad's a big fan," and I tell him the whole thing. And he's like, "Oh, yeah, that's pretty funny." and then he goes off into this story about like he's like, he's like, "Oh, so your dad's a rabbi?" And I'm like, "Yeah." And I'm like, he's like, how does he feel about you becoming an actor? I'm like, "Oh, he's actually extremely supportive of it. I think he's living vicariously through me."
Well,
you know, it's
and it all culminates in you getting to meet Arnold Schwarzenegger. So obviously he's
he
happy.
couldn't be happier than ever. And he's like, "Oh, okay, yeah, my dad wasn't crazy about it." And then he starts telling me this like story like about how his father, specifically around like the bodybuilding stuff, was like I can't remember what the word was. There was some like German word he used. He was like his father would call it like some like he said some German word, and then it was like translated roughly to like weak or like frivolous. Something like
Right,
that.
okay.
Yeah, he's like, my dad was
Wasting
saying
your time a bit.
Yeah, it's useless stuff. And so, then he's like telling me about that. And I was like, wow, really? Like, even after you were winning these competitions,
Yeah.
like you were Mr. Universe, like over and over again. Like he's like, "Oh, well, so my dad once the Mr. Universe pageant was in." Is it a pageant?
I think we're gonna call it that. I think it's a pageant from now on. It's
The
pageant from now
yeah,
on.
Mr. Universe pageant.
Yeah.
Was in it was either in Berlin or like Vienna, or was somewhere near his dad lives in Austria, somewhere nearby there. And Munich, I don't know.
No, but just keep
Eastern
listing
European-
those kinds of towns.
Yeah.
And then I'll edit around it. The one that it is in, I'll
Sure.
just use that.
Please, yeah. I appreciate it.
I'm not gonna edit it.
No, I know.
Frankfurt.
Frankfurt.
Yeah, I literally don't know anymore. So his dad came to the competition, and he was like, "Yeah." So my dad came, and afterwards, like he saw me compete, and he said, like he was like, he said he was like really proud of me afterwards, and then he died. Like the
Right
next
there?
year.
I'm really proud of you.
I wish when Arnold was telling me the story, I wish I was as just flippant about all this really like important emotional things he was telling me.
Man,
And then
God,
he died?
right there?
Oh shit. That sucks, bro.
I give Chris and I 1 year before we just have like a morning traffic radio show. Did he die on the spot?
Anyway, you've been listening to Tommy and the Fart Bear. What? Fart Bear?
It's Peter and Chris. Why didn't they just go Peter and Chris? Why is one of them Tommy?
Why is one
I
of
understand
them
why one of them's
the
the fart bear, but the other one just picked another man's name.
Which one of you is the fart bear?
Who's Tommy and who's the fart bear?
I think I'm Tommy.
I was gonna say you're a fart bear. I was gonna say you're a fart bear because I've been skewing more straight man,
Right.
More
Yeah,
like trying to
I've been-
rein you in,
Right, rein me in.
while you just do bits on bits on bits.
But I think it'd be funny if Fart Man was Fart Bear.
Oh
Sorry.
yeah, fart bear is trying to
was
keep
the
it all
straight-
together.
Yeah, he was like the
Fart bear is
bummed
the
up-
Jason Bateman.
Yeah. He's like, and that's his actual real name. That's his government name. Is Fart Bear.
And then
All right,
like,
guys.
but
Okay,
he's so
okay, guys.
serious.
Yeah. And everyone thinks he's gonna be wacky
Oh,
about
totally.
it. And he's like, oh, it's just.
Well, no,
I
not
should have
wacky.
changed my name. to Tommy.
Just Fart Bear.
What do you think about that fart bear?
Oh, jeez.
Guys.
All right. Can we just keep it on track, guys?
Classic fart bear. All right, our next guest is a stripper.
Fart Bear, the constant wet. We should call him the wet fart blanket bear.
Guys, that's not very nice. Anyway, so he dies.
So he
So Arnie's dad dies. So anyway, back to the story.
yeah.
So he's dead.
Artie's
Okay.
dad is dead. Welcome back. And yeah, so he's telling me this like really like personal story. And I'm sitting there like just fucking jaw on the ground being like, what the fuck is happening right now? Like Arnold Schwarzenegger, like I've talked to this guy for like 3 minutes total before this. And he's telling me, about like how his dad like validated his life just before he died.
Right.
Yeah, and then I asked him and then I asked him like, well, was that also the case with your mom? Was she more supportive? And then he tells me this other crazy story about like the Golden Globes in like, I don't know, 1980, whatever year this would have been, that he was emerging. He was in the category of like best newcomer. It was him against Sylvester Stallone. Who are the other names that he dropped?
Robin Williams.
Yeah,
No, it was like
probably Robin
there was some bombshell woman from back in the Sophia Loren. Is that a person?
She sounds gorgeous.
yeah.
Whoever that is sounds
Yeah.
awesome.
Yeah,
I think that's right.
As far as I'm concerned.
And maybe some other name that I can't remember off the top of my head.
So it's a bunch of bombshells up against each other.
A bunch of bombshells up against each other, and apparently he was saying that they sat all their mothers together because they all brought their
that's so
moms because
cute.
they were young. Yeah, and the story he told was that it's like one by one around the table, someone would be like, "Oh yeah, like." My son would be nothing if it weren't for the fact that I fed him so much, and that's why he got so big.
I
and
love
Sophia
it.
Loren's mom being like, "Well, if it wasn't for me putting her in dance classes and driving her every day,
Of course.
Yeah. And just them all just going around trying to take complete credit for all their children's accomplishments."
Well, and all the dads were just like, "Hey, if I hadn't been hypercritical of their choices,
yeah.
I
That's
never-
the table
if I was
over.
with-
It's just all the dads being like, "Yeah, if I hadn't pushed them so hard
Yeah.
and made them so ashamed of who they were, then they wouldn't have needed to exercise."
good thing I had
every day."
one foot out the door with their lives the whole
I
time."
gotta ask. Let's go around the table. Were you guys all also withholding? yeah. Nice.
I smell a sketch. Just a
You
dad's
gotta
meeting.
be.
Yeah.
A dad's meeting. Who here's
Said I went
withholding?
out for cigarettes, and then you never came back. I never came
yeah.
back. Yeah, same.
Why were we invited?
Yeah, is this the first time you've seen your kid in 17 years? Oh yeah, all right.
Yeah. Now that he's rich, I'm back. I'm back. Just like my son, right? I'm back.
I gotta keep making him question his worth, and if
Yeah.
I didn't show up again, he might not do that.
Dude, I tell you, every time I belittle him, buys me a new car. It's great. Just to show me how wrong I was. Oh, I love being wrong. I'm so rich and wrong.
And then anyway, the end of this story is that then the costume person came over and was like, "Hey Arnie, we need to change your sweater." And then I was like,
Because
okay,
he
I
had
gotta go.
torn through it while he was telling the
While he
story.
was telling the story.
There were
Just like
skins.
And then the wardrobe,
Bursting through.
person was like, "Yeah, so my dad in Berlin when I was doing," and you're like, "Okay, everybody, like I liked the Arnie one. I don't really care about your life, if I'm being honest. I like you as a person.
Yeah.
I don't have no problem with you, but I just don't have time for more of those stories."
I'm going to do quick 2 lightning rounds. I just want to know if they're
Okay,
nice
sure.
or not. Bobby
Okay.
Moynihan, nice?
So fucking nice.
I bet.
Legit.
Also, I see that Taron Killam was in this one.
Also,
Is he nice?
very, very nice.
Yeah,
he
that's
was
cool.
he was also directing and wrote it, so he was really busy. Bobby
Right.
had the time to just like sit around.
It's
and
a
shoot
lightning
shit.
round.
Yeah.
Okay.
I, you don't want me to rank everyone,
Sir,
You
So,
know what?
yeah. Who was nicer, Bobby or Taron?
I'm
that
not-
weird
yeah,
S tier
that's
thing
fair.
that everyone's doing on the internet. Yeah. Anyway, I was just gonna say something about being jealous of Taryn. Keep going. Lightning round.
Taron.
I don't want to think about it anymore.
Okay, I've got some. This is also because I have a also one that you could tee me up for.
Oh,
Oh, sure.
If you
yeah.
want to, ask if Jason
All right.
Statham was nice.
Chris, you got any stories?
No, say is Jason Statham
I
nice?
teed you up perfectly.
No,
Okay.
Yeah, I got a story.
So I went and I shot something. I do a lot of filmmaking. I shot something. This is all about me in Victoria recently, and we've all been there.
Oh,
You
that's
grew
true.
up
Yeah.
adjacent.
I grew up in
We all went to
Victoria as
school
well.
there. Long story short, we all went to school there.
We all met there.
And
The
I
city
had
of love.
and I had dinner at the Sticky Wicket. It was not very good. The food. Yeah.
They were
I
never
was
known
there
for their
once.
food.
You were there once.
I was there once.
All right, so Amitai, do you have any stories about the Sticky Wicket?
Yes.
All
Now,
right,
this is a
Chris,
thing.
what's your Sticky Wicket Jason Statham story for
The
fuck's
Sticky Wicket,
sake?
the Sticky Wicket pub in Victoria, BC.
So
Take us there.
some
set
of you
the
have
scene for us.
Yeah, set the
let me
scene
set
for
the
us.
scene. Let me set
Set
the
the scene for us.
So,
Okay, I'll be the manager.
Do you want me to be Jason? I don't remember the lines.
the bartender.
No, do I need to be you?
who's-
Oh, I'll be the bartender. Okay.
Yeah,
that's
and
good.
you're
Yeah.
serving me.
Do you have a rag?
And I'm coming up.
That's just a pillow. That's a pillow, but that's fine.
Hey, could I get a?
It's whatever I want it to be. It's imagination. It's improv.
I
baby.
forgot.
So it's me and you be my buddy, and we go up to the bar.
Okay.
And we see Jason Statham.
Hey, I'm James,
Yeah,
your
sure.
buddy.
Yeah, it works.
Was it with James?
We see Jason Statham across the bar. Okay.
Yeah.
We just see him, and we're looking at him.
Oh
we're
my
just
God,
staring
that's
at
Jason
him.
Statham.
I know. Look at that guy. Hey, could I grab could we get a picture of beer, please?
What kind of beer? You can't just ask for fucking.
Yeah, that's such a movie question.
Oh my God.
That's such a movie question.
Just
That
kidding.
exists-
We have 35 tabs.
What do you have on tap?
Okay, we have
all
Alexander
35.
Keys,
That
we have
you set
Molson,
yourself up.
We have Phillips. We have Blue Buck.
You know, Blue Buck sounds great because I love Blue Buck.
Are you sure, pal?
Blue
He's
Buck's
still got
actually-
31 other taps to go through.
Okay, so he fills up a thing of Blue Buck for us.
Okay.
And then you're gonna dare me right now
Hey.
to go up and give Jason Statham a beer.
How much head do you want on this?
Quite a bit, please.
Sir?
I love it heady. Okay.
Yeah, he really loves head. Hey, it's 2000. It's early 2000. That's the kind of
These
humor
are-
we would have
these are
been.
the jokes that we
were
make up.
teenagers.
Tons ahead. So dare me to go up to Jason
Hey,
Statham
hey, Chris.
and
I dare you to go up to Jay. No, keep talking, and I'm going to talk at the same time.
and
It's
give
really
him a
good
beer.
listening.
Yeah. You dare me to
Yeah.
go up to Jason Statham and give him a beer and use every single one of his movies that I possibly could in one sentence while handing him a beer.
Okay.
So
Yeah, yeah.
we're in the scene. We're back in the bar.
Okay.
I'm
Here-
still the bartender.
Yeah.
Yeah. Here's the beer. Hey, okay.
Yeah.
Here's what I want. It'd be funny.
What?
It'd be so funny.
What?
You go up to Jason Statham at the bar, right?
Yeah.
Bring him that beer.
Okay.
Okay, bring him a beer, but try to present it to him when you say anything to him. Try to use as many of his movies as possible.
That's wild.
The movie
dude.
titles, all
That's
of them.
wild.
It's so funny though.
Okay.
He's gonna love it and give you like a role,
Oh my God! Yeah, nothing can go wrong,
These college kids are such fucking idiots.
sir.
sir. We
Sir,
heard
we
that.
just need the
I'm
beer.
trying to
that.
I'm trying to Jim from The Office this bit.
He's looking at your camera.
So then, long story short, I do go up to Jason Statham
Yeah.
with a full beer in my hand.
This is
to
real.
Present him a beer.
Yeah.
And I say to him, I go, hey, Jason, I just thought I would transport her to
it's bad. It's bad.
you this beer.
Oh, two. You put the
Yeah,
second
so
the
that's
sequel
two,
in there.
Yeah, that's two movies in one.
Yeah.
I thought it was T.O.
No, that,
No.
No, Transporter 2.
This to you. This
This
beer
to
to
yeah,
you.
so it counts
Wow.
as two movies.
Okay.
I'm going to transporter you to this beer. So why don't you go ahead and snatch that out of my hand? So I only got 3 movies in there, but it was pretty good. And
Yeah.
then he's like, no, mate. And he turns, he just turns his back on me.
He said no.
He said, "No, mate," and he turns his back and he
Didn't
just
take the
starts-
beer.
He just turned his back on me, and he starts talking to his friends. And then I guess there was this guy who might have been his brother. Oh, I haven't actually checked. Maybe it's like his stand-in or something. It was a guy that looked like him.
Jeffrey
Sure.
Jeffrey
And he was
Statham.
also like hanging around with them. And by this time, me and my friend were getting sort of drunk, and we were talking. I was like, he was so rude to me. And I remember
Oh,
saying
no.
to this guy, Jason, not a good guy. Not a good guy.
No, why did you do that? Why did you make it worse?
That's where that story ends. But then my friend, apparently, a totally different friend, because this was you, Vic. It was Sebastian.
Sebastian.
Oh,
shout out to Sebastian.
outed, just
Outed.
exposed
Well,
right
he
now.
goes up to Jason at one point, and he tries to get into an acting, conversation with him
Oh, I remember this.
about like
Yes.
sort of like, what's your process, man? Like, what do you do to like,
But just like that's a ridiculously dumb question to ask anyone.
Let alone an action star.
But yeah, let Jason Statham of all people. Like it's like that's
'Cause
yeah.
Jason then literally says, he's like, I just say the lines, mate. You're like, yep, that checks out.
Yeah.
But and so that's the thing. He did answer the question.
Yeah.
Like, what's your process? It's like
He
literally
just
says
says
the
the
lines.
lines. And that, that's Jason's
I
acting.
I
Okay,
kind of
set.
respect
I
that.
have a question for you.
I just say
Yeah.
the lines.
So Jason Statham, since what year would have that been? 2000.
Would have been in, we were still
Early
in
2000s.
UVic, so early 2000s, 2005.
Sure. So let's say it's 2005. There's been Jason Statham has made 16 years more movies since then. Can you, if you had the chance
get it
to
better.
say it, to give him another sentence,
Yeah, give
how
him
many more movies?
You
can
get another
in?
chance.
I just thought I would transport her to you this beer, so why don't you go ahead and snatch that out of my hand as Fast and Furious.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5.
Although it
5,
wasn't-
6, 7.
Yeah,
Can
yeah,
you get,
true,
can you
true.
get
As
the Meg
you
in there?
can.
My name's the Meg.
Can we have to throw suggestions at him here. I'm going to Google.
Yeah, so Meg.
the movies.
Hey, have you?
Have
And
you
by the
seen
way,
the Meg?
have you seen the movie The Meg?
There, I did it.
Now that I have your attention, Jason, my favorite comic book as a kid was gotta be Hobbes and Shaw. No, it was Calvin and Hobbes. That's right. I'm sorry. I got that mixed up.
You go. I really loved growing up. Growing up, I would read Calvin and Hobbes, and Shaw was my internet provider at the time.
Yeah, there you go. That's really good.
There's the Expendables that you could definitely get Expendables.
Oh yeah, if you don't want this beer, it's totally Expendables
2, 3.
2 and 3. It's totally Expendables 2 and 3.
Oh man, it's too bad because if it was 2021 that you
Would be
met
a lot
him,
easier.
you would have just kicked the shit out of you.
It's also too bad that he didn't have a good sense of humor about it. That's
Yeah.
like the guy's being funny. I guess he gave you the laugh it deserved, maybe.
No, mate.
It's also that
He gave you, but didn't he give you a little?
No, mate. Yeah, he did give
and
me a
to
little.
be fair, like that's like him.
I
That's him keeping the
spied
bit
you
going.
across the
That's
room.
what?
That's Jason Statham keeping the bit alive. Like if he had acted any other way, it would have been out of character.
It would have
And
been
it would have been so.
that would
weird.
have been so funny. And so he has his like persona, his like
Yeah.
cool boy persona, but then he turns around and he's like, I'll just go ahead and snatch that from you. And you're like, whoa.
Jason, you look like you might have a very good The Mechanic. Do you have one that you could
Because
recommend?
my car has been making so much noise.
That's close to a spit take, guys.
Do you have a good The Mechanic? Do you know a good The Mechanic near you?
Oh shit.
So
Because my car has been going fast but furious.
Yeah, you got a whole angle there. That's transporter, like all that
Yeah.
stuff can work around the sort of like car theme.
Cranked. Sorry, I'm just saying movies I
now
can
you're
think of
just
now.
Well, I mean,
Yeah.
we have been just saying
Yeah.
the names of movies. Now, I understand that you've been in the movie. Let me see. You've been in a movie called The Good Doctor. Was he nice? Oh, it was a TV show. That's a TV show. You played a character called Nate Schmidt in The Good Doctor.
Yeah.
How
Was
good?
the doctor good?
Was he good?
Yeah, was he good?
Yeah, they were great. They found out what was wrong with my character. Mike, do you want to hear something embarrassing about this?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, it's not embarrassing because it's.
You actually came down with whatever your character had?
If only my character was in the hospital because his boner wouldn't go away. And
For real?
yeah, and so
Really?
this show, I had auditioned for The Good Doctor like maybe like 7 or 8 times. Like every episode, they'd be like, "Okay, we got some character for this guy to," and I would never get it. And it was my partner at the time, her family's favorite show. Like they were obsessed with it, and so they kept like I'd be like, "Oh, I want to get on the show."
And it's about a
They'll
boner,
get on
it's about your
and the
boners.
one that I finally get is the character is in the hospital, has
Yes.
a fucking medical has like a medical mystery boner. The whole episode is them trying to figure out why he's got this boner.
I really thought, okay, and I'm admitting, I hope you still consider me a friend, one of your bestest of friends.
Still on the fence. I've had it up to.
I've had it up to here.
had
I
it
got a
up to
bit more
here
room
with
to go.
you.
But what I'm saying is, I didn't really watch The Good Doctor ever, or
That's
your
totally
episode,
okay.
so I apologize.
I
But
only
I thought,
watched mine.
Yeah, I thought the show was more like high-minded, like more about like ethics and morals and like making medical practice a better place.
I was
and then
like
they've just got a
I
quick
was the
boner
Cis
episode.
guy.
Boner
I
deal.
wasn't. They didn't have the whole hospital coming down and like putting all their minds together and being like, okay, what do we do about the boner?
What do we do about this guy's boner?
No, it was like they had like a long day, and I was one of the cases they had to keep coming back to, I think,
Oh.
or something like that.
They're trying because they're like, yeah, okay, they're
Yeah.
trying to like
Is your
solve some
character,
world
like,
problems.
dying and slowly losing all the blood.
Yeah,
going
did you
to his
die?
head?
Did your character
yeah,
die?
Yeah, my character died
What
of
was
horniness.
did they say in the episode like what
That's
the
why I
most
got the
serious
part.
thing?
They just offered it
too
to me. They just know
horny.
me as someone that's always on the verge of dying of horniness.
But was there talk in the episode of like what the worst case scenario for your character with a eternal boner?
They have to up
would
the
happen?
stakes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, it was something like it
we
turned
don't
out to be
get-
like a back prop, like a spinal thing that they were like they actually had to Yeah.
Go
They had, to,
surgery.
they had to do surgery on.
What's funny is like for a split second there, I was like, "Oh my god, that must have hurt." But I was like, "Right, it's you're acting."
It was
I mean,
acting.
it kind of did because it was really uncomfortable on that surgery table that they wouldn't let me come out of because it had all these tubes, and so
Oh,
it was like I
geez,
just stuck
right.
on it for like
Sucked.
6 hours. Yeah,
6 hours.
maybe like 3. It was TV. It moved pretty quick.
Right. Yeah, because I would have had a problem like not needing to pee or something. Like,
Yeah, it was just.
I don't know why that's
they
my
put a catheter
cool
in, so
takeaway.
it was fine.
They put an
I'm
actual
method,
catheter.
so I wanted all.
They have
of
the
it.
prop catheter right next to a
Yeah.
real one. There's a lot going in your
Yeah,
wiener
the prop one looks better on camera, so
Yeah.
they didn't want to use the one that I already brought with me.
that you already pee out of.
Yeah.
Speaking of you being method, I see that you were in Power Rangers playing a character called Geek. So I guess you had a lot to
Got
draw
him.
from in your life.
Ooh, got him
You
good.
have a lot to draw from.
Were the other geeks nice?
Yeah.
No, actually. Oh man.
Oh, sweet.
really?
We found something. We found
The
something.
Blue Ranger, RJ, the guy that played the Blue Ranger, who was I was like playing one of his friends.
Yeah.
He very nice.
Oh, nice. That's awesome.
This is
And like
this too spicy to
and a
talk?
kid, right?
No, this is what we want. Say
Okay,
it with me.
I just worry that like whatever. Who gives
No
a
one
shit? I
watches this.
don't care.
No one listens to
and
this.
this kid was not a good actor, so I don't think I'm gonna run
podcast,
into him a lot.
Amitai, our podcast is circling the drain. Not because of you. You're our swan song. This is as good as it gets. It's all down from here.
This is the goodbye, the farewell episode.
10 people are going to hear this.
Okay. So to the 10 of you, so there was 2 geeks. I was geek number 1, and there was geek number 2, or we might have been billed as something different, but there were 2 of us.
Yeah.
I
You thought
was-
of yourself as geek
I
number
was
one.
the one that was like, "Yo, Blue Ranger, that shit was awesome. The way you beat up that bully, I'm
Blue
on your
Ranger
side."
is a geek himself.
Yes, exactly.
Right,
Yeah.
right.
And then the other one, I mean, we didn't call him Blue Ranger. We didn't know his identity and like at any point in it, but he beat up the bully for some reason.
And that was nice of him.
Yeah, it was very cool.
Yeah.
And everyone was like giving him daps.
And then you were like, "Your secret's safe with me, Blue Ranger."
And then you were like, you
and
gave
you're
him
like,
a little kiss.
"Can you please stick to the script, Amitai? Like, that's ruining everything. You absolutely cannot say that."
Okay, sure. Yeah.
No, but then there's
You
another
blew that
kid.
guy away, Ranger. It's just like, Amitai, want a word, please? A word?
That's it. I did get in my improv line, so I did
Oh,
get to say
nice.
something like, "Man, Billy's so cool," while he was like walking away at the end, and they kept that. So.
And they're like,
They actually
Keep
they
it.
told me
Because
that-
it's funny because he's not cool.
Yeah,
But so
he's
to
a
a
geek.
to
geek,
me, exactly.
because
That's
you're
you.
that much of
I
a
just
geek.
love that you. This is one of the best interviews I've ever had. You guys have really like found
We
the
get
core.
you.
Yeah, this
Yeah.
is like inside the actor's studio.
yeah. The
You guys should do
hang
that.
on.
Why have you
So-
not?
so-
Oh yeah, we have to
Why
do it inside the actor studio. That's the thing we have to rip off.
Already?
Why
At the
haven't
end of
we done
this?
that? Why don't we just switch to that right now?
We're gonna.
No, that's
to
gotta be a
finish-
whole other
time it's
episode.
different.
No,
We
we can't
switch.
spoil
Yeah.
that idea.
Midway.
But wait, RJ was nice.
Yes,
you're saying.
RJ was nice.
But
But the other kid that played the other geek,
yes,
who was like, he was also maybe well cast in that he was questioning RJ a bunch. Like questioning the Blue Rangers, like, "Oh, I think you're full of shit, man." I
Oh,
don't
he
think
was
that really
supposed to be
happened."
that. He was supposed to be that.
But that actually wasn't the thing that was annoying about him. The thing that was annoying about him is that like he was like just like he was so excited to be there, which that's not alone something that makes me write someone off. To be
Yeah,
clear.
you hated him
That's
immediately.
okay. It was one of his first jobs. He was
Yeah,
a kid.
yeah.
This is the thing too. Is like I'm not a kid. I'm playing a kid.
Yeah.
I was like maybe 31 at the time we shot that, and everyone else there like was very young. But this kid would just like, because we had like, I don't know, like 13 hours, 2 days in a row, like just hanging out nonstop. And he was so excited to be there and he just wanted to talk the entire time. And then he would say things like, I can't remember what was it exactly. It was something like he at one point like just turned to me like I was like, "I'm exhausted, man. I don't want to talk anymore." And so there's like a silence and I'm like, "Oh, thank God," for a few minutes. And then he turns to me and he's like, he says something like, "You're Jewish." And he had, like I had mentioned it earlier at some point in the day, and it was like he just like needed to like connect on something, and he was like he just was
You're Jewish.
yeah, he like, and I, like he wasn't even like slick with it where I was like, he wasn't like, hey man, like, is there any like good bagels in town? Like he wasn't even like trying
Wait,
to
you would have preferred a slightly more
honestly,
racist approach?
Yeah, honestly, it did, because like this way I was like just didn't even know how to respond. I was like, yeah,
Yes.
like,
Okay, and
Is that a problem?
Listen,
Yeah.
okay. In my defense, I just was going to ask you how to pronounce your name, but it's like,
Yeah,
okay,
true.
so that joke didn't land very well. I was trying to say that I was that guy the whole time. It's with me.
yeah,
I
okay,
pull
I
off
get it
my
now.
skin.
Right.
It's been me,
yeah,
your
yeah, I was one of your
mom.
first jobs.
That was a
You were
failed
very
joke.
excited to be there.
You know what?
I like it.
Leave it in.
I'm leaving it in. I don't have time to take it out. And I'm trying to sink Chris's career, so I always
really-
leave it in.
You know when you're about to say a joke and you're like, the
Yeah.
fellas are gonna love.
I just was too late to the party. I left later.
It's all right.
I'm
You
sorry.
know?
I don't. Has it ruined your energy? Has it ruined your mojo?
Everything's ruined. It's ruined.
Yeah. Just to be clear though, like I ended up working on Power Rangers for a while because I
Yeah, it's
like
the
that-
geek.
No,
They
the geek was
just
there
never
for
let
2
you go.
days.
Oh, no, this is good. This is good. I know this what he's about to say.
I played the
Yeah.
like the off-screen voice for Alpha 5, like
Yes.
the on-set Alpha. I wore like the green,
so
the
when
gray
you watch
spandex
the movie,
suit.
it's your body movements.
Yeah, but almost not at all because we did only one day of actual motion
Okay.
capture after everything,
Right.
and I don't think they used any. I don't think they used any of what I was.
They had it for like reference skeleton stuff or something like the shape.
Yeah, they had
of
they
your,
had me
your
do like
general-
some breathing, like apparently that's really hard to do to animate. They were saying.
I bet.
Yeah, so they're like, yeah, can you just stand there and just stand there? I'm like,
stand
okay,
So were you paid as an actor to do something
Yeah.
like that? Oh,
no buyout. Yeah,
how
anyway,
much
that's-
money was it? No.
Okay, let me check my bank account for you guys real quick.
And then Bill Hader ended up doing your voice.
Yeah.
Is that correct?
Yeah.
And then, so is he nice? You ever meet him?
Well, I didn't.
Was he nice in the movie?
Obviously,
At the end, when you
there
went
was
to go.
a fun conversation while they were like, I got to be there when the producers were pitching who they wanted to do all the
Oh,
voices.
cool.
You
Because
got to be like, yeah, get him.
Brian Cranston for Zordon, but at one point they were talking.
he's
They're like,
excellent.
"We want to try and get Idris. You think we can get Idris?" And I'm like,
To play
just like,
Alpha
listen-
5?
No, for
No, to
Zordon.
play the Zordon.
Right,
Yeah.
right. I wasn't listening.
Yeah. You're just getting your next bit
Bill
ready.
Hader is perfect. Like
Can't wait to
that was
bomb
great
again.
cast.
Yeah, Bill Hader is perfect for that.
What was I gonna say though?
Because he'd already played a robot in Star Wars. He played BB-8.
Right? Yeah. He did the. It was
Oh,
pretty
yeah.
similar. He was being typecast a lot.
Yeah.
Now.
Yeah, totally.
I hadn't actually thought about that. I mean,
Yeah,
it's-
pretty cool, right? Pretty cool anecdote. That's why you come
cool
on the pod. I'm full of them.
My point was that
That's why
I
we call
did
them
end up
anecdotes.
working on a movie with Bill Hader like years later.
Yeah.
And I was like so excited. Like I ended up having one day overlapping with him, and I was so excited because I was like, "Yeah, this is my end." I was like, "Yo, remember?
I was
Alpha
your body."
5?
Yeah.
I did this motion capture. It was this massive crowd scene. I never got close enough to him the entire day.
Sucks.
So that was just like this. So he's not
could it
nice.
be?
You were right. He was
That guy-
right there. You could have got him.
Because
Yeah.
he was purposely,
avoiding me.
Avoiding.
Yeah.
It's rude.
I feel like Bill Hader seems like a guy that would be nice.
I just thought of a not nice story I have. You finish what you're going to say, and then
yeah.
I want to tell
I like-
a story about a
I-
not nice person.
It really ruined the flow of my sentence.
I'm
it was
so
just going to be
sorry.
a quick sentence.
Edit around me then.
I was just going to say, I feel like Bill Hader looks like somebody who would be nice.
Yeah.
No, I was going to
You're
say.
right. Too bad we
Wow,
didn't get
yeah.
that, that
Actually, can we
story
get it
the way it
clear?
was.
Can we just do another take on that? Can you just do it direct to camera?
Just direct right to this camera. I was going to say that he looks like somebody who would be nice unless you weren't being very funny. Then I think he would just be a little dismissive and be like,
Yeah.
okay, guy.
That's actually probably true.
Like, I think some people, like an Arnie would turn it on and just be friends with you the whole time and be nice. Cool. And then if you're friends, you're friends. And
Yeah.
Bill Hader, I think he would be like charming and nice, but if you weren't being like very
yeah. My turn to talk now.
I mean, and in a way,
I
you're
kinda
right.
like it
It wasn't
more
going
about-
great. My little theory
speculation.
was only okay.
Yeah. We'll come back to it. We'll do.
This is a good one because you were
we
there.
shouldn't.
We'll
You
do
were there.
Chris's
You saw
segment,
me
then
in
we'll
this
come back
moment.
to-
And
Oh,
you know
yeah.
what? I don't even feel bad saying this bad story about this bad man.
I know what the story's going to be.
Okay, and you know what? Okay, we're getting it out of the way. This is a Louis C.K. story.
Yeah, yeah.
I was gonna say
They were kind
do
of,
it.
and I'll say we're close to time. Like, so maybe we're just gonna end hard on this.
Okay, so
Great.
I'm just gonna really stick the landing on it. So there we were in Montreal, just for laughs.
Just for
Peter and I
laughs.
were doing a set at the Theatre St. Catherine.
And just to give you an idea of where we are career-wise, just after the peak. So we had started heading back down to washed up.
We thought it would be the peak if we had really nailed
Or
our
pre-peak. We thought
Oh,
it was,
God.
you know what I mean? Going up.
Could have been all uphill from there.
We
but
didn't know that we had just previously peaked,
Yeah.
and we're actually on the down.
it got worse.
Right.
Now we
It
have
was,
this.
It was really foggy up on that mountain.
It was so foggy we didn't see the edge. We walked right off of it.
So there we are. We're doing our set.
Yeah.
And we come off stage, and we go up the stairs, and there he is,
Louis
C.
Charles,
Charles,
Kentucky.
Kentucky.
Yeah.
The Kentucky man himself.
That's what they call him. Kentucky Kid.
And he had
Yeah.
been watching our set.
I mean, before he was canceled, that's what they call it.
Yeah, they used to call him that. Now they
there
call
he
him.
was, pre-cancellation.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Still have
Dick firmly in his pants. He didn't the whole time. I gotta say, like,
You could tell his
say
hand
dick firmly.
just about to grab his dick.
you can't say Dick firmly in pants. Actually,
mean, you can.
that's a funny thing to add to a story.
Yeah.
Just in general, like there I was, my dick firmly inside my jeans. Like what? I was like, yeah, he wasn't out.
So he's standing up there looking like he's, in a scene from The Good Doctor, right? With his big old erect dick. So he's there. He watched
See,
our
that joke-
set.
that joke went well.
It landed all
It
right.
landed nice. Yeah, it
So
landed-
he
it had a good
watched our
landing.
set, right?
Yeah, he watched our set, which is also
The
cool.
best thing that he ever did
That's-
for himself was to watch us.
Yep.
And then he said to us, that was
Yeah.
really cool. He said that was really cool. And you know
Yeah.
what? It was. We were on that night. I'll say that.
Actually,
it felt.
he's doing a bit voice, but like it is true. It was a good.
It felt
good.
really good. And
It
I was
felt
glad
really
he
funny.
watched it.
Yeah, and so did.
You even sometimes you get stuck in bit voice, and when you're trying to speak
know.
sincerely, you're like, I don't know how to stop.
It
Well, it's
is-
because there's an awkwardness in the story because we're talking about.
we are talking about Louis C.K.
Yeah.
and
Yeah.
I am saying that it felt nice to receive a compliment.
Oh, sure,
from
right.
him.
Yes.
and you shouldn't feel bad about it because you did.
It's just a compliment. And then so he says that, and then I'm like, wow, that's cool. Thanks for watching. And then he's like, I mean, that's why you go to festivals like this. You can see people you haven't seen. And I was like, this has been a great interaction.
Yeah, this is going very well.
And then I go, do you mind if we grab a photo with you? And he goes, nah, I'd rather not. And he slinks down the stairs.
Yeah.
He just ended the interaction, and I'm sitting there with my fucking dick in my hand. Just like, metaphorically.
Metaphorically,
Because I
of
was gonna
course.
say that might have been why he didn't want.
I think that we have to. Okay, just to be the fart bear in the room here, trying to keep the team together.
Yeah.
At some point we're having a laugh at that horrible thing, and all I wanted to say is I'm really looking forward to his comeback tour. So Amitai, you were in Fringe, the TV show Fringe. Now, were any of them nice or?
I had one interaction. That was like my first credit. It was silent on camera, and then they added a line in post, and I barely talked to anyone the entire time. They thought I was a background performer.
Of course.
For the first.
So they keep
hour that I was there.
you kept getting wrangled.
Yeah. Oh yeah. Badly.
Right.
Yeah.
That seems to me like we're gonna put that in the not nice column.
Sure. Yeah. I mean, yeah. The second AD at Fringe, the third season of Fringe, was kind of an asshole.
There you
I can
go.
say that.
They
Wait.
really set the tone of
Yeah.
the set,
That's a
It might
pretty
have been
like
the third AD. I don't know for sure.
you gotta be
which
careful.
AD
That's a pretty
it
big
was.
exposure because we can
Yeah.
go. It's like second. You said third season, second
Yeah, I mean,
AD.
I got a call sheet probably somewhere in my
load them up.
in my
Let's say
email.
their name.
Yeah. Let's
Yeah.
let's name them and shame them. I was a location liaison at the Orpheum Theater where they shot a lot of Fringe scenes.
Oh, I'm
because
sorry.
Yeah, thank you. So they shot a lot of scenes there because it was like a nexus point to other universes or something.
Right.
And watching the crew work versus watching the crew off of a Hallmark movie work is crazy. Because they're a team that's been together for every season, for maybe multiple shows before that. So they all know each other. So they were lighting things. I got to see them do one of those big Zeppelin lights. It's one of my favorite stories is because like on it's a Hallmark movie, it was like 10 people, like maybe an hour and a half to get this Zeppelin light inflated, connected safely, and then powered, and then lit, and then it's floating.
Peter, I just want to say you should have been the geek in Power Rangers.
Oh, and I would have been great.
You're so excited about these Zeppelin
'em.
lights.
I would have been great too because I would have been sitting there next to you and I'd have been like, "Are you Jewish?"
Why wasn't a question.
Oh,
It was
you're
a statement.
Jewish.
You're Jewish.
You're Jewish.
How does that work as a statement?
I don't know. I didn't know how to respond. Anyway.
I would be fascinated because I'd be like, "What's going on in your mind that got you to that?"
And
you're
that was
like,
the thing,
you have to
was,
say
it
it.
was something like he.
I gotta
think
see how this goes over.
It was something like he was someone who he was like, I think part Irish, part Japanese. I think like he had mixed ancestry, and
Whoa.
and he really identified with that stuff. He would bring that up. He would make jokes about all that stuff, and that's totally fine,
Right.
Totally acceptable. But I think that was the thing is like he was being like, this is how I'm relating to the world in this setting, and now I must find your version of that.
Yeah,
You're Jewish.
so I can relate to you.
Yeah.
You're Jewish.
It reminds me of this. It's exactly the same. It's a quick story. We were touring in elementary schools through Kelowna.
Oh yeah.
We're doing like our murder mystery play, and there's this kid like probably 6 or 7 in the front row, and we're doing like this bit where we're
sharing a bed.
We're sharing a bed,
But it's
because
too small.
It's too
Right.
small.
Oh, yeah.
It's
So
a physical
I
bit
remember, this is
of
a
trying to
great
get
bit.
room.
for trying to get comfortable in a bed that's too small, and then the kid, like in the exact same sort of way, in a statement way, was like, "Oh, it's gay."
And in our defense, maybe we weren't that woke anyway. We could look at some of our old jokes and clean it up a bit. But that one was just a couldn't fit on the bed joke.
Right.
There was we're doing
it's not
sexual
homophobic
things.
or
Right.
anything.
And the kid wasn't either.
The kid wasn't being homophobic.
He wasn't
No.
either. That's true. That's what
was-
gay is.
That
It was
next
a
generation,
statement.
man. That's exactly
Yeah.
that's their reaction to
That's
gay stuff.
gay.
He
Is
just
they're like,
understood, and he was like,
"It's gay."
"Oh, I get it now."
Yeah. Like
So
they're
I don't know.
a little
There's nothing wrong
excited.
with it.
So maybe that guy, maybe that geek, we take him out of the not nice pile. We put him in the nice pile because he was just like, Jew. What's funny about that though?
I'm really glad that he didn't point the way you just did. That would have been like.
I just did a full. That was a spit take.
Don't wreck my mics. Don't wreck my mics. Just do it on the couch.
I just choked so hard.
I think it's interesting you say that he's like that was his identity. He was identifying with like his ancestry or whatever, and that was important to him. So I think what you could have said is like, you're Jewish or whatever, and then you could have been like, yeah, I also have a personality though. So it's like I have other interests unlike
Yeah, I
you.
mean,
You Irish piece of shit. You could have said.
Yeah, to be fair, that was the thing. That was also the difference is I was 10 years older than him, and I have had
That's the
10
other
years
thing.
of personality.
Right,
to
yeah,
no
yeah.
longer-
Like
Yeah,
I've
poor
read
kid.
books.
Yeah, you're right. You know what? He is. I am the antagonist in this story. After all, I think.
Well, no, but a little bit just because, in a way, like you said, you were older than him, and he was like nervous and probably trying to be funny or interesting.
very hard.
Yeah, and he was like, I mean, I'm Japanese and Irish. I got this.
Yeah,
You're Jewish.
I really am. I've said way too much about this guy now. Like
I can't
given you
cut
his,
it out.
I'm giving you his 23andMe.
I can't.
Yeah.
Oh,
Anybody
I love
who's
it.
interested can narrow it down.
Yeah.
So you can just look on IMDb.
Yeah.
He's probably credited as Geek 2.
We're going to see a comment on the YouTube that it's like,
Hey.
I'm Japanese and Welsh, you son of a bitch.
Well, we are coming up on the end, I guess. Right?
Absolutely, we are.
So-
I do not want to edit it. Sure.
No, let's do a quick lightning round, Kate. Joseph Gordon-Levitt.
Super nice.
Nice.
Yeah.
Yeah, really cool.
James Franco.
I never worked with
If
him.
you could, do you think he
Be nice,
would
or-
be?
You know what? That's a hot take, but I think maybe not. Like I think he might be
I
a
don't think he's
little
bad.
That's
like
safe,
a
'cause
bit
I
of a
think
weirdo.
there's
I know
weirdness
that
there.
he's
There's weird weirdness
But
around
even
that one,
without
too.
that, I think like even
No.
before that, I would have been like, I don't know.
I think he. Yeah. Oh, we have one
What?
who just didn't even acknowledge that we were alive
Who?
at JFL. I've forgotten his name.
Oh, well, this is a great story because I don't know who you're talking about.
Well, do we cut it out?
Yeah,
we
I
bleep
can't
it?
even tell what you're talking about.
Pete Davidson.
Oh, yeah, you got.
Oh, really?
I mean,
Yeah,
he's
just sorta-
probably
he was
just stoned and aloof.
He was a cool boy.
Yeah.
He was doing
I mean,
cool boy
he's
stuff.
clearly a cool boy.
Yeah.
And we had just eaten absolute shit on a TV taping. Probably one of the biggest moments of our career.
Or
and-
smallest. Yeah, it depends on what you mean by moment. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah, I know what you mean.
It was like the smallest moment of our career.
It's a small moment in time. Yeah, and a small
didn't-
moment in our career.
Yeah,
in
we didn't
terms of-
do. We made some weird choices.
of all of our dreams circling the drain. in that
Although okay,
exact
okay,
He was
but,
aloof
okay,
before.
in the biopic
Yeah, yeah.
about you two.
Yeah.
About the Peter and Chris show.
Yeah.
Will that make the edit. Will that
He's
make
going to
the
be,
cut?
yeah, but we'll blow it up a bit
the moment
longer.
on screen. I mean, no, your TV. I don't give a shit about Pete Davidson anymore. Now I want to hear about
Yeah.
your failures.
It would the moment
wanna-
in the TV show would be like us on stage, and then it would pull out, and then the camera would whip around, and it would be like a row of TV execs with notepads going, no. Oh,
It's
that's
so-
disappointing.
Honestly, it is
Oh.
so much like dating, and you can feel the vibe.
yeah.
You know, there was a moment where they were hot for us, where it was like, this
sure.
date is going well.
Yeah, because
and
we
then
I saw your sick bods, and they're
We had
like,
a
yeah, they
Oh,
liked
yeah.
our they
fuck
liked
the
our
shit out of those
They liked
guys.
our comedy bodies, and they
Yeah.
wanted to sleep with our comedy bodies. And then they saw us like just go up into a tight 5 that was like it just killed the
a
boner.
loose 14, I think it was. But and that's true. We had 14 minutes. But it is true because we had like a development deal for a sketch show with Bell
Yeah.
Media.
Wow.
And then Bell Media does all the JFL tapings.
Yeah.
So they gave us one.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
they threw us on a couple sketch boys in a stand-up show,
Which stupid
Ooh,
move.
which
Yeah,
was
that's
really
really
We
tough.
followed Moshe Kasher, I think. Moshe?
Yeah,
Moshe.
Moshe.
Moshe. You,
I said Moshe.
you're saying it like Chris says my name.
I really, and that's the thing. I'm not going to edit it, but I hate that I said
No,
Moshe.
no, it doesn't.
Yeah,
It's
that's
fine.
That's so
That
dumb.
It's
sucked.
actually
That
kind of
sucked.
cute. It seems like a little like pet name
Moshe.
for him.
I call him Moshe. Moshe Casual.
It's a little boy accent.
But yeah, we followed like high JPM's stand up, a very different style of comedy. And we were like, because our style of like sketch comedy is like, isn't this idea interesting and weird and funny?
Right.
Whereas they're
it's
just like
it's
setup joke,
it
setup
doesn't.
joke.
It's just not. That's not a good mix.
No.
It's
But
just a
you
different
watch
gear.
that taping and you can find it. They pumped that thing full of laughs. Like in
Oh, yeah.
post. Yeah, it
Oh,
doesn't
nice.
look that awkward. And they did cut our loose 14 down to a tight 4.
Yeah, they just got the sketch
Oh,
where we
okay, that's
leave the stage. But yeah, I guess it was it's not that he's a jerk or an asshole, but he probably is. But he highlighted the height of like cool people.
Yeah.
While we were at our lowest.
Yeah, he did
He was
kind of
there.
highlight. He did sort of wink that we didn't do very well
Oh.
in a way.
Wait, what?
Because he came back out and he was like, "Did you guys have fun?" Or however he sounds.
Oh yeah.
You guys have fun?
It's not bad. It's pretty close. I mean, it was a little
Yeah.
bearish-alley, but yeah.
And I know
They're both like tall.
Because he's from New
skinny
York.
dudes.
He's like, "You guys have fun?"
oh yeah,
There it
that's
is.
not
Yeah, it's
bad.
got
You
Yeah.
guys have fun? I don't know. I don't know.
See, you work on it. That's good though. Let's put that one
Amitai,
in the-
before we go,
Oh yeah.
inside the actor's studio
We're
style,
going serious.
when you get to the pearly gates, what do you want St. Peter to say to you?
Jew.
This time, it's different. With Peter and Chris. This time, it's different.
This podcast has been brought to you by the Sonar Network.
Sonar!
Oops, drop the podcast.
What if people liked and also subscribed?
I think we're just down here to kill time.